If you're a heat and air conditioning technician, why should you not oversell damage to a piece of equipment, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about HVAC work and a perfect day to talk about you. Coming to you live from Sacramento. So here's the thing. There's going to be a point where you might get pushed at the office and they're like, hey, we need some leads. Okay, it happens. There may be a point in your life where you're like, I got to get my numbers up. Okay, it happens. Where the damage happens for most technicians and even salespeople is where they're like, I'll bend the rules. I'll make a few things up. Now, fortunately, this does not happen a lot in the industry, right? Like people from the outside, they look at heating and air conditioning technicians, plumbers, roofers, and they're like, all those guys make stuff up. I've managed enough people to know that the number is about 1% to 2% of technicians are really the bad apples in the group, but they ruin it for everybody else. So make that decision that you're not going to go to the dark side and you're just going to tell people the truth and you're not going to push the boundaries, okay? So what you need to know is if you oversell a repair and you oversell damage and you kind of stretch the truth, eventually you're going to get caught. So I can think of multiple calls that I've been to over 20 years in the business. And once again, this doesn't happen every day. This is probably something that would happen once or twice a summer or once or twice a winter where a technician would end up and they would oversell repairs. Like if you don't change this capacitor, this whole system's going to blow up. Does a capacitor hurt motors? Yes. Is it going to cause the system to blow up? Probably not. Okay. So like they may say things like, if you don't fix this, the system's going to fail. But they do it in a way that it makes it sound like everything is going to fail. There's going to be massive failure. There's going to be just insane amounts of problems that are going to happen. And so like, I'll give you an example, a hot service igniter. Hot service igniter on a furnace, if you have heat pumps, it's the thing that lights the gas and causes the furnace to come on. It's kind of like the ticker on a stove, right? I had been to calls where a tech from a different company was notorious for telling people that if they didn't change the hot service igniter, it was going to cause a fire inside of their firebox. Like, that's not true. You know that's not true. I know that's not true. The dude's no longer in the industry, thank goodness, but that's not true. And so he was overselling to get repairs and cause some issues. And this right here is why you should join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods. Not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. Go to that URL, drop in your name, your phone number, your email address. I think it's those three things. And you'll get some emails from me. It'll be cool. You'll like it. It's like sometimes people oversell cracked heat exchangers. Do heat exchangers crack? Yeah, given enough time in a home, all heat exchangers are going to crack, right? Be airflow issues. It could be gas issues, valve turned up too high, valve turned down too low. It could just be repeated use. Given enough time, heat exchangers. I've had technicians say, if you don't replace this heat exchanger, your house is going to catch on fire. Is that possible? Yeah. Is it possible for every instance? No. So they would over push. They would tell people, hey, if you don't replace this heat exchanger, the carbon monoxide is going to get to you. Well, okay. Is that possible? Yeah. Is that going to happen on every call? No. And so like you got to match the intensity or the worry to the problem that's going on. So if there are major faults, major flaws, then absolutely, there's like, I have some major concerns. I'm going to document them all on my invoice. Like I could think of a time where I was on a roof for a package unit that was notorious for the heat exchangers to do this, okay? I could literally take my Monster Energy drink, my Pipe 1 Punch, right? My Pipe 1 Punch and drop it into the heat exchanger from the side. So when the gas was on, like it's shooting flames through the cabinet. Like that's a legitimate, hey, we've got a problem here. We've got an issue here. And I took the disconnect with me. It was right around Christmas time. And the guy was like, hey, it's a rental and I really don't care. I'm like, dude, I do. My name's on the line at this point. Overselling damage is one of those things that's going to happen. You get a tech that comes behind you and they're like, yeah, these are all simple fixes. These are all common issues. And that tech could come from your company, could come from an outside company. Like, there's no reason to make stuff up. There's no reason to oversell. Look, I get it. You got numbers to hit, especially if you work for a company that tracks those numbers, big or small. It doesn't matter. But don't oversell damage. It creates a lot of problems. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.